determination to change the nation. I'm manifesting the truth. Back in the booth to give you the messages that's been channeling right through me. No, I'm not Jesus, although my spirit is great. I'm eating my food without a plate, escaping this place through my meditations. New life begun when I reloaded the gun and realized where I was from was not too far from the sun. Like somewhere close by the moon. Now I'm connected like Zoom. On walks of life that ever lived, call me like out of the blue. So I just pass it to you, right through your speakers with clues. And if you choose to free your mind, then you will have all the tools. But I can't make you take it and shake it and mentally break yourself out. Cause freeing your mind without a doubt is something you have to try out. But once you see the light, your might, and all the power you've had, then you have reached the fifth dimension and you can brighten your path. But others who choose to follow the red pills, it's harder to swallow. Or you can wallow in your sorrows, feeling all empty and hollow. The only way you'll see the truth is if it's starting with you. So please stop lying to yourself, start being truthful to you. The only way you'll see the truth is if it's starting with you. So please stop lying to yourself, start being truthful to you, to you.
What's up, world? It's Leo. And first, I want to say thank you to the Omaha branch NAACP for acknowledging me and giving me an award earlier this evening. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning, and the topic of the event was the fierce urgency of now, which were the words of Dr. Martin Luther King. Those words were uttered during the civil rights movement, and he talked about how important it was to make change right now because he saw that we were at a critical point in the civil rights movement where black people could move forward and advance in a way that we haven't been able to move forward and advance in this country for hundreds of years. However, his life was cut short. We are at a turning point in humanity right now where all of our lives are going to be drastically altered by the technology that exists, by the political climate that exists, and a future that is to come that we have never seen before, where we have a system that is in place right now that it can not only mimic who we are, but also begin to build the future through AI technology, robotic technology, and it will use the cultural foundation of the system that currently exists. So imagine a future where the earth is treated like the earth is being treated now, while education is being treated like education is being treated now. And imagine the place that black people have been for hundreds of years attempting to fight for some form of our own, but never achieving it, and then having technology duplicate the system that currently exists that was never just or fair to us in the first place. The fierce urgency of now has haunted me since that event, because I realized during that event I didn't have the time to say all of the things that I needed to say, and in this video I won't be able to say everything that I need to say, but I need to say some things. And here's what I'm going to say. We have to build the institutions that cater to, that acknowledge and recognize black folks' cultural contributions, but more importantly, stand on the cultural foundation of the Afro-American indigenous population that has contributed so much to society, but has gotten so little in return. We must have the institutions for ourselves. We must have our own hospitals, our own schools, our own educational system, our own form of governance, our own economic system, all the things that we need to thrive as a people independent of the system that exists right now. This is no shade to anybody else or any other system or any other group of people. However, other groups of people have a foundation that they can go back to if this system don't work for them, but we don't. That's what the fierce urgency of now means. And in that moment, I couldn't speak about all of this because I know how critical it is to have the conversation. But I'm making this video now because it has haunted me all evening of what we really need to be doing. So if you are a person that looks like me, and you're saying, where do we really go from here? What do we really need to do? We need to work together. We need to acknowledge our differences and stand on our cultural foundation and respect each other from a cultural perspective and start moving beyond civil rights, because civil rights is a form of survival in this system, and we need to move on to human rights so we can get our true respect as an ethnic group of people, not just a race of people. That's why it is so urgent that we begin to work together to see the change that we want to see. Again, I appreciate the Omaha branch NAACP for acknowledging me. I appreciate all of those in my community that do the work, who were in that room, and those who have been outside of the room who haven't seen those types of rooms. We will work together. We will get things done. I'm Leo. I love myself. I love my community. And they're right. The time is now. Peace.
Yo. So yeah, I wanted to start with that video because brother Leo, I mean, we talk on the phone. I call him, he answers. He called me, I answer. We talk, okay? And the conversation, like I was telling him I was gonna have Sunday today. When he made that video this morning, it aligns exactly with what I'm talking about today. So first I want to say hey to everybody. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Tall Twin. Hey, Shay, Iris, DeMarcus, Brother Wallace, Heather Williams. Good evening, good afternoon, whatever evening it is. Evening, I guess it's 7 o'clock. Yeah. So this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a minute, and before I move forward, I just want to say this. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to be polite. I'm only here to speak the truth from my perspective. And there's going to be things that I say that people might not like, but I don't care. And we got to have these serious conversations. Okay. And what's crazy is the introvert in me, every time before I do one of these shows, even though I'm sitting here in the comfort of my home, I get nervous because I'm talking to y'all. And the introvert in me, I've never been a person who could just talk to a bunch of people. But then as time went on and different people in my life helped me become the person that y'all see today. But in high school and stuff like that, I was a nerd, musty little nerd. I didn't really talk too much. So, yeah. But I do want to get right into it. And like I said, today we're doing something a little different. If you want to call in, and I figured out how to hook my phone up to the computer. So if you want to call in, all you got to do is call in and you'll be live on the show with your conversation. And I'm trying to limit it to about a few minutes. You know, you want to add to the topic because for one, I don't know everything. And so I do like to hear people's opinion. Hey, Christy. Hey, Ashley. And I do like to get y'all input on stuff. So if you want to just put it in the comments, that's cool. If you want to call in, the number is 402-968-5012. I guess I can add that to the banner real quick. Let's see here. There we go. So yeah, Black unity. First, I just want to ask the question, is it a dream or is it reality? Is it a dream or is it reality? Can we have Black unity? Can we? I feel like, you know, Brother King, he died before his dream came true. Martin, Fred Hampton, all these people before us, they had these ideas, they had these dreams, and they were murdered, most of them, before the dream ever came true. And now, with us being in, I like Bree Parker. She said, yes. Hey, Miss Parker. She said, yes, it is possible. Thank you. And Ms. Weston said, we've been talking about unity and coming together, saying the same thing over and over. That's true. And Iris said it is a reality. I mean, I believe it is a reality. And they were all executed at such a young age, right? And today I just think that we should go deep beyond the surface, beyond slogans, into something that has been both our power and our pain with Black unity. And Brother Wright said, how do we define unity? There you go. And let's just be for real. Honestly, across the nation, we see division everywhere. Street versus professional, educated versus uneducated, nonprofit versus grassroots, so on, all the religious versus each other, Christians, conscious, all this stuff. And now all that does to me is keep us disconnected, right? We're disconnected from each other because our focus is usually on those separations. And I like what Miss Weston said, that we do. People come together and they talk about it all the time, and it's always talk. And meanwhile, our dollars, our talent, our energy keep leaving our communities in record numbers. But the truth is, and what most folks don't want to admit, is the division, it didn't really start with us. It's engineered. It's on purpose. It's really designed to keep us fighting each other instead of fighting the systems that profit from our separations. Okay? And you talk about systems that profit. What are some systems that profit from us being separated and not being together? Police departments, they profit. Funeral homes, they profit, right? Working together and spending our money with our people. There you go, Iris. When people get paid their checks, they probably need to put so much money into a fund so that we can start building toward a bank or school or some buildings, so that that and housing. Yeah. No unity with good and bad ever. Right. But honestly, I think that with it being designed to keep us fighting each other instead of fighting the systems and that profit from our separation, it's like, do we see the game? So how do you see the game when you in this, from high chair born, and everybody, all this stuff that's being thrown at you is about separation? How do you see it? How do you clear your mind? He said liquor stores, they profit. Families are broken. See, y'all know already. They weren't unified in approach. The reality is they all had their own supporters. Unity is not singular. The hair places, the gas stations profit. Come on now. I love y'all, man. This is what I'm talking about. And what Miss Weston said, it may have not started with us, but we can and are the only ones that can stop the division system. Girl, you better speak on it. And just like Miss Parker said, unity is possible. It's absolutely possible. But not if we define unity as everybody living or thinking the same way. That to me is not what I'm talking about when I say unity. Unity, in my opinion, it means alignment, not agreement, right? It means like we move in the same direction towards empowerment, ownership, and like collective strength, even if our paths are different. And there needs to be respect amongst each other, even though we might have different paths on what we think unity look like. I mean, what y'all think about that? Because when me and Leo had this conversation, he made a really good point. I don't know if y'all know, but this dude, Leo, is a super smart brother. And he said that if we came together for one thing in common, which is whenever there's an injustice in our community, can we agree on this? That every single person is on that. That's what Omaha used to be. And from the elders that I've spoken to before I was ever born, that is what Omaha was about. And from the outside looking in, these people knew it. They knew that our town, our city was revolutionary spirited. You can't kill it. And that's why in 1919, the Red Summer, they targeted Omaha. We've always been a target against cities like Chicago and all that stuff where they targeted them, but they targeted little old Omaha where people be like, where's Omaha? If you were born here or lived here for a very, very long time, that spirit is within you. You can't kill it. And you could be doing 100 other things. But the moment some injustice happens, it's in you. It's like a burn. And you be ready to roll. That's the Omaha spirit. Okay. But I think for me and for my family, like the way we work at it, to me, unity starts in the mind. And like Miss Weston said, even though it didn't start with us, we are the only ones that's going to end it. And we got to reprogram our thinking. We got to like shake off the lies that they taught us to fear our own reflection. We gotta shake it off. And so like when I did come up with Untamed, which stands for the Unified Nation Taking Action, Mentally Erasing Deception, it was about understanding that we are a nation in a nation that can be unified, that takes action to erase the deception that's been fed to us about hating each other, about not being able to work together. That's what it's about. And so we live that through the work. Now, I know y'all don't tie it all in, but I'm from the hood streetwear. That's still a part of the nation. Motherhood, fatherhood, brotherhood, sisterhood, before it took a village, now take a hood. Untamed, Unified Nation Taking Action, Mentally Erasing Deception. If you ever listen to any of my music, it's about the unity and the love. Every single thing that we do is all about the same. It's just different ways of getting it out there. If you want to wear it through the clothes, fine. If you want to participate in the things that Untamed do, fine. That's the unity that I'm talking about. And Cameron just said a good point. Only certain people want to unify and come together. That's correct. And what do we do with those people? Leave them on the island? Why do we divide our political power instead of consolidating it? Man, y'all on fire tonight. Come on, Brother Rogers. You right. Why do we? I think before we can unify our money, our politics, or our communities, in my opinion, we have to unify our minds. And I'm glad Miss Weston just brought that up because that leads to my next point. She said trust is a must, but we don't have it. Omaha is easy for division because we have gatekeepers and wannabes that infiltrate when we come together, and we allow them to break us down and separate us. Okay? And so the 20 weeks that we just did, that was about building the trust. Those people that came every Sunday for 20 straight weeks, that's 5 months. Do you not think we got together and got to know each other? Do you not think our children came together and got to know each other? Okay, we talked about so much stuff, and we had guest speakers coming in every week to intrigue our minds about the things that they're doing, because the Wells family, we get enough of the attention, the shine, the light. That's why we have guest speakers to pour some of that on everybody else. It's like if you wear a big hat or you sitting under a tree and you don't let nobody else get no shine because you shading out everything around you. We don't believe in that. We wear the small hat so more people can get some shine. And so that's why I know people was busy on Sundays. They got all their different reasons, but the importance of the 20 weeks was about building that trust that Miss Weston is talking about. And for those who couldn't make it, I'm thinking now, yeah, the video will be posted after I get done, nephew. What's going on, brother? Replenish. Hey, cuz. Hey, Autumn. Now that the 20 weeks is over, and that was an opportunity for anybody to come. I didn't say no certain person couldn't come, but it was what we did down there was build. We highlighted other people. We made sure the kids got off the game. We talked about political strategies. We talked about war strategies. Okay. And that's why we have to continue to have a safe space to build the trust that Miss Weston was talking about. And after we can unify through unifying our minds, like getting our mental together, right? Then to me comes the economic unity. When we shop with each other, build with each other, and invest in each other, we can start controlling our destiny. And like Leo said, if we can't control it, if we can't own it, we can't control it. If we can't control it, guess what? Somebody else will. Somebody else will. Somebody else will. They'll control our dollars. They'll control the things that go on in our community because we, like Miss Weston said, we're allowing them to. Nobody's forcing us. I know that, people was talking about how people take our money in the community and don't respect us, but I don't believe people's taking our money. We're giving it to them. We're shopping with them. And sometimes we'll go out of our way to shop with other people when we could be shopping with each other. Let's be for real. When we could be working with each other. Let's be for real. That happens in our community. And speaking of the control, I know y'all been seeing that video circulating about the store, the gas station. Again, here we go, right? And the disrespect of this man in there calling this woman a black bitch. She's 69 years old. Okay? 69. And the problem is we allow them to come into our community and Big Jim's, yeah, it used to be a black-owned store or whatever. And so everybody done got used to shopping there. Nebraska, Omaha don't change the way we do things. We just like to do things the same, keep it, so you just keep shopping there. But do y'all know for every $100 in American money, it's like $8,000 in rupee, in Indian money, in their country. Okay? We're making them rich. That money's not circulating back into the community. They're not donating or coming together to fund anything going on in North Omaha. They're not. They're not. Okay? I'm telling you right now, they're not. And so if we can't get to the trust, clearing our minds, and then get to the economic unity and owning it and controlling it, then somebody else will. And I think after that is going to come like cultural and spiritual unity. But before we get into that part, I do want to address childhood and past traumas. Okay. We got to have that conversation. Because when we don't address the traumas that makes us not love ourselves, we cannot be expected to love somebody else, bro, at all. We can't. So you got to have the mentality, you got to have the physical, and you got to have the spiritual. Okay? Knowing who you are. Because we are all spiritual beings just having this human experience. And I know some people say it scares them to think about it, but you and everybody, me, everybody, we are going to leave this earth eventually. And there's nothing wrong with why you're here to enjoy the human things that you've been taught through your life to enjoy. But at some point in your life, you have to think about, what was I made for? What am I here to do? What is my spiritual purpose? Not when I look in the mirror and how handsome I am or how cute I am or sexy or any of that. Not the look. What's inside that people can't see your spirit? What are you here to do? And unfortunately, most of us pass away, leave this earth, stuck in the life that was created by humans, and never realizing you was a spiritual being just having this human experience and was here to do something. Now imagine all the people that you know that have already left earth, never figuring out what they was here to do. Whether it was an innocent murder, a baby getting killed, anything. Think about all the people who passed leaving earth without knowing what they was here to do. It's very, very, very sad. And Tall Twin, she said, self-love is the foundation of loving others. That's real. It really is. And so when you look at Black unity, and getting into cultural and spiritual unity, we need spaces that feed our spirit, not just our pockets. Okay? We had ancestors that moved with principles of truth, balance, community, and remembrance. And I don't like it when people say, we not our ancestors. Why wouldn't you want to be your ancestors? Because they had those types of values: truth, balance, community, remembrance. They knew who they were. They were spiritually in tune. We did things that people still don't know how we did it. Okay? Black people, whatever you want to call yourself, African American, the original people, it's been changed so many times. Do we even know who we are? Our cultural identity. Okay? But the thing about it is, our ancestors knew. And as time went on, we lost our identity because it was changed so many times. Okay? Think about those movies that they put out that shaped the culture. I don't like when people say it's our culture, but the culture of Black people. Boys in the Hood, Colors. You know what I mean? All them movies. South Central. What did those do to our community? And look where we are now. And some people actually like, man, that's just the way it is. No, it's not. That was fed to us. And Miss Weston said, you bring the issue up at the gas station treatment each time it happens. And then what happens? Why do people keep going? Miss Weston? Girl, woman, lady, my dear, that question I can't answer. I have no idea. Why do people keep going back after this kind of stuff happens? Because the last time on 60th, when we did the study and realized people wasn't going to stop going there because there's a building behind it, apartment building full of people, low income, we knew they was going to keep going there. So what did we do? We got with the owner at that time. We had him make his employees wear name tags. We told him that they had to not speak in their language while customers was around. They put up the QR code for instant complaints. And you could actually say a name because at first you didn't know who was who. And they carried Black-owned products. And he agreed to donate to the community whenever we had things that we had come up, like he would do the pops and stuff like that. We negotiated that stuff with him because we knew the whole boycott thing wasn't going to happen, because the very next day, Miss Weston, people was going back there. They was back. And it didn't even take a whole day. And so what has happened with this current issue, and I'm going to share it with y'all. I haven't said nothing yet, but I'm going to share it with you. Because the owner, you know, I tracked him down the day of. And then what I did was hit him up, called him Saturday. And he responded, and he told me he didn't know about it, and he asked me to send him the video. And so I did. I sent it to him. And after I sent it to him, he sent me back a response, because I could have screen recorded the video. I didn't want to screen record it. I wanted to send it to him on the Facebook so he could see what the community was saying. Okay. Let me see here. I got his response. I'm going to share it with y'all. Okay. Yeah, let me share it with you real quick here. Share screen. Notepad. There it is. Might be little, but I'll read it for you. Say, hi, Sherman. I first want to say I truly apologize from my heart what happened at Big Jim's MP Marts. I deeply regret that this situation even occurred. This is not who we are and not what our company stands for. Thank you very much, Mr. Sherman. I truly appreciate you sharing this with me, and I respect the great work you do for the community. Now, he only knows that because people tagged me in that post, and he probably went and looked up my page and all that. So this is all bull. We need people like you to stand up for what's right and represent the community with fairness and strength. Please understand this is absolutely not Big Jim's MP March policy or practice. We do not tolerate any argument, disrespect, or unprofessional behavior toward any customer under the circumstances. What happened was unacceptable, and we take full responsibility. According to the cashier, they said that customer had previously caused a problem at our store and was being disrespectful again. And that day, but still, that does not excuse the employee's reaction. Even if the customer behaves badly, our employees are trained to stay calm, call security or the police if needed, but never argue with the employee completely overreacted. And this is against our policy 100%. Whatever you suggest, we will follow. If you believe the employee should be terminated, we will do so. If you recommend a suspension without pay or in-person apology, we will do that as well. We fully respect your judgment and we will cooperate completely. Okay. In the future, if you hear anything else happening about our stores or our employees, reach out to me directly. I want you to clearly understand that this kind of behavior is not part of our company policy. And if any employees act on their own or lose patience, we cannot always prevent that moment, but we can firmly afterwards. We are very tough on our employees and consistently train them to treat every customer with respect. As you know, doing business in this area is not always easy. You live around here and you understand the challenges. Sometimes things are not calm or predictable as other parts of the town. This is the reality, but still it's not an excuse. We take full responsibility and we want to make it right. We will make it right. Let's meet Monday, you, me, and Ann, if possible, and bring the customer. We'll apologize face-to-face and resolve this matter respectfully and completely. Again, I sincerely apologize for what happened and thank you for your fairness, leadership, and work, blah, 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 blah. Okay? That was what he sent back in response. But again, I went to the store Saturday. And while I went in the store, what I did is went in there, act like I was on my phone. And they kept asking me, did I want to get something? I'm like, well, just give me a moment. And I'm just sitting there observing the environment. And a black woman walks in. Okay. When she walked in, she had a styrofoam white cup in her hand and she sat immediately right down at the machine, right by the door. I like that. I knew this was a Chat GPT response. Yeah. And so when she sat down, the dude was on his phone. It's two cashiers. One was on his phone, one was helping a customer. This lady sat there and she's sitting at the machine, digging in her pocket, about to play the machine. And he starts, hey, lady. Hey, buddy, lady. She not answering to no fucking hey. So she's sitting there. He like, hey, you need to pay for that. She like, pay for what? He said, that cup in your hand, you stealing that. She said, I walked in with this cup. And I said, if you hadn't have been on your phone, you would have noticed she walked in with that. She didn't steal that. Okay. But the climate, this is exactly what the problem is. You automatically assume that she stole that. Well, we sell this cup. We sell. I said, okay, you sell it. But if you was paying attention, you would have noticed she didn't steal that. She walked in with that. Here is the problem. They think so shitty of us. Yet and still, we continue to patronize. Okay. And no, we don't need to have a meeting. We don't need to figure it out. We need to just stop going there and hit them in their pocket. But the thing is, there's people that live behind the store that's going to continue to shop there. So we have to come up with something else because they're not going to stop shopping there. And like Melissa says, crazy how you were there for just a moment and seeing their bullshit firsthand. Absolutely. Okay. And this was a 67, 68-year-old woman that he was cussing out and calling bitches. No respect. Now, had I been in that store when he did that, then it would have been a different result. Had any other, there was some black people in there and black men that was in there, and they continued to make their purchase, which was very, very sad. And I will say that I believe that the black woman is the most underprotected, because ain't no way another black man was in there and didn't do nothing. But there was another brother in there that said, you better stop calling her a bitch. And then his attention turned to that black man. Do you think he called him out of his name? No. So, again, black unity. The only way that we're ever going to be unified, and it's not like I said, it ain't coming together, all this kumbaya, holding arms and all that stuff. It still just starts with having, even if we can have one thing that we can come together for, and have an understanding that if there's an injustice in our community, everybody's going to play their part and do something about it. And Melissa said them apartments need to be torn down. It's probably city code. Yeah, that's true. I think, though, when you talk about us coming together, there has to be some sort of accountability. Unity don't mean ignoring wrong. It means calling each other higher, like holding our leaders and our influencers, the people that got a little clout around here, and ourselves to a standard that honors the ancestors and protects our future, and also gives the future people something to look at. And I know sometimes people be like, well, I'm not frontline, I don't want to get out here, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to be frontline, but guess what you can do? Live a life of righteousness, be a father to your family, be a mother to your children, nurturing. Because what I'm noticing is the women, they tired of being the tough mom. And when you got the tough mom, then the children are missing the nurturing and the love that a woman is naturally good at. I had to learn that part. I was a tough dad. If it wasn't for my wife, I don't think my kids would have got the nurturing. But we played our roles in that relationship. Okay. And the women now has had to be so tough and punch their kids and do the discipline part and the love part. It's hard, bro. It's too hard. And we can't expect these women to keep doing that. I never understood why a baby is born and it's automatically on the woman, and the dad can just roam free like some wild donkey or something. I don't know. But it's too hard. They're natural nurturers. And we're missing that in our community. There's no nurturing. So when the dad is gone, the mom got to be tough. Then you got a boy growing up hating women because his mama had to be tough and bust him in his chops for being disrespectful. And then you got a man, then he's disrespected women as he get older. It's like a cycle. Okay. Then you got some girls who beefing with their mama like they friends because the mom had to be the disciplinarian and try to be the nurturer. And then you got fathers who want to be fathers to their children, but because of the relationship with the mother, then her feelings is you're not going to have a relationship with my child. That happens. I don't know how it happens because for me, even though I have 3 children by 3 different girls, women, I still raised all of my children in one household, and I still didn't miss a day in none of their lives. And I didn't have to be with none of the women because I chose one woman, which was the wife that I have now, who I had my last child by. But I still never did nothing disrespectful to the other 2 baby mamas because I was still there as a father for my children, regardless of our relationship. Regardless. And nothing was going to stop me from being a dad. And so when we talk about the unity with us, and I think Black unity, let me move my notes over here because I want to make sure I stay on this. When we talk about the Black unity and what it looked like, I think we have to also acknowledge that as you get older, you do need to have real relationships. And I don't care what your sexual preference is. That's on you. Whatever you do, that's your business. But either be all in without the bullshit games or stay out of relationships. Because most of us are spending too much time thinking about what the other person is doing when y'all away from each other. And that time and that mental space could be used more productively for other things. Okay? You understand that? You're clouding up your mind with trying to figure out these relationship bullshit games that people's playing with each other. So if you're not all in the relationship, get out. Because you're wasting people's time. And if you want to be in a relationship, then cool. Work on building the family. Because just like a house, when you start building it, the foundation has to be solid. You cannot build a house on an unstable foundation. The moment you have children, there are a lot of things to consider. And for one, most people out here actually just having sex until, oops, we pregnant. Okay? Do you know the person that you having sex life goals, their family goals? 9 times out of 10, you don't. Okay? So then once y'all have that baby, then y'all have all these disagreements and y'all locked in for the next 18 to 20 years. I say 25 to life sometimes. Because sometimes they never move out. Okay? But ideally, you will want to build with that person to break the lack of 2-parent homes. And me personally, like I said, I'm not knocking nobody. I'm a man and woman structure, but y'all can do whatever y'all want. I'm not here to judge, but whatever you do, you need to invest into your home's structure, and not just money, but your time and your knowledge. Because the older you get, you gain knowledge through experiences, right? So you need to invest that knowledge and time back into your children, into your home. And if you have people that you ended up having a child with that's hurtful to the growth of your child and not helpful, then maybe they shouldn't be around the child. Okay? Because a good relationship, a bad relationship in a household, that's not good for the child. To see a woman getting beat down or a man being disrespected, called out of his name. Okay? That's not okay for the child to see. So then maybe y'all shouldn't be around each other if that's the toxic stuff you're doing around these children. And also, when you talk about unity and family, it's about self-growth. Again, knowing who you are, dealing with them past traumas. In this system, we've been programmed to tell us who we are, right? As Black people, how to dress, how to be, what to eat, all that. But growth is only going to happen when you separate from the program, people. Stay away from people who say you have changed just because you discovered who you really were, who you really are. I hate when I hear a person be like, oh, you switched up. What, am I supposed to stay the same? When something grow out the ground, a tree, it don't stay a little bitty tree. It grows, it has a trunk, it got branches, it grows into something else. And you might not recognize it if you ain't been around it for a while. You might not even recognize it. But when you're around people who say, oh man, you switched up, you changed, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I have to grow. And I know that we're all in this community, for me anyway, I grew up in the gutter. I didn't know that there was a life outside of the street life. I never hardly even went past 72nd growing up, okay? But when you start to discover that the program and the system tells you to be one thing, and then on the other side, you were born to be something else, and you're this great spiritual, creative being, sometimes you'll lose people who want you to stay that street created person or that system created person. You're going to lose them. And then they're going to say you switched up. But I'm supposed to grow. When I start tuning out from the world, then I let God into my life. And then that's when he shows you all the stuff that you're really supposed to be, who you really are, what you're really supposed to be doing. And you're going to lose people because some of them never take the time to shut out the human side and let God into their life. Let spirituality into your life. And all that I ain't never switching up stuff is really about loyalty and honor and morals. So you shouldn't switch up on that if you got honor, morals, and loyalty, yeah. But as far as learning that the streets is a trap and then changing from that because you know that it's only the jail and death and it's a lucrative business, you're supposed to learn from that. You're supposed to change from that, especially in the Black community. And I'm really talking to the people in the gutter like me who grew up and your moms, and I love my mom, rest in peace, Mama Sandra Wells. She did do drugs. She was out here. She was never home. But then think about her life where she was started being raped at the age of 12. Okay? Her first 2 children by her mother's boyfriend who was raping her. What kind of mother did I expect to have when she didn't have the protection growing up? Okay? And that's when I say I'm talking to the gutter people, not those people who think that it's fun to be in the streets. You had a mom or a dad or both at home, and then you chose to start being in the streets and hanging out thinking the shit was fun. Not those people. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people who got into the system because they figured out they had to figure out a way to eat. Waking up every day, nobody's home. Okay? I recently reached out to somebody who was my mother's counselor. And when I told her, hey, I'm Sherman, I found out you was my mom's counselor. I'm Sherman Wells, blah, 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 Sandra Wells. She said, that little Sherman, he survived? I was your mom's counselor from 78 to 80. I was born in 76. She said, already at the age of 2, your life was fucked. I never in a million years thought you would even be alive right now. That stung. But I lived it, so I know. Okay? And I'm really about to give you a message to these parents, to these foster parents, these step parents, and all that, okay? No matter what you do and how you raise your child, I need y'all to remember you are not God. You cannot control another person. You can raise them, you can influence them, but at some point in their life, they have the ability to make their own decision and do things that they think is right. And when they fuck up and get themselves locked up or in situations, don't beat yourself up over it because you don't have a remote to that person to control them. You don't. Part of being a human and the beauty of it is at some point in their life, they start to control their mind, their arms, their legs, their mouth, everything that they do. You can't control it. Okay? You can't. And you can't feel guilty when they do stuff that you knew was the wrong thing and they didn't listen to you. Anthony said, what did you say? Although we are feminists and lesbians, we feel solidarity with progressive Black men and do not advocate the fractionalization that white women who are separatists demand. Our situation as Black people necessities that we have solidarity around the fact of race, which white women, of course, do not need to have with white men unless it's their negative solidarity as racial oppression. We struggle together with Black men against racism, while we also struggle with Black men about sexism. Okay. And a lot of people don't know, but my mom was a gay woman. And I can't knock her because, like I said, she went through things on her own. I'm surprised she even made it as far as she did with all the stuff that happened to her. There's an article, a 3-part story, where she was in the newspaper, the Omaha World Herald, and they put her picture in there. She looked crazy as hell. And she killed a man because he was beating up 3 women at the same time. And the police, she kept calling them. They wasn't coming. She had a gun in her hand. The dude kept on beating him up. She shot him. He died. Then 2 weeks later, she tried to kill herself because she felt so bad for taking a life. This is the woman who I was expected to raise me, okay? But what I'm telling y'all about y'all children is they have a privilege to be and do whatever they want to. It's their God-given right. So you can't beat yourself up over what they do in the end or when they get old enough, all right? And when we talk about Black unity, we have to start being more stingy with our creativity and with our money. Because like I said, we created things that people still don't know about right now in this world. And our dollars is what make the world go round. Okay? The backs of Black people spending money is what make records go platinum, movies go whatever the hell they go, but we are the ones. And now more than ever, we need to spend only with ourselves, create for ourselves, work for ourselves, which take knowledge and education. And no, I'm not talking about your master's degree. I'm not knocking it. You can get it. Go ahead and let your master teach you and give you a piece of paper that say you passed his test of information. But I'm saying right now in this age, information is free all around you. We don't need to be indoctrinated into a school system and take time to educate ourselves from somebody else and prove to them that we can learn and do the things that the way they tell us to do it. We don't have to. Some of the greatest minds in history were not educated by the school system, but were self-educated. We living in an informational world right now. Okay. And she said the man-made holidays. Girl, don't get me started on that. Black folks are paid the least, but are the number one consumers. Yeah, because we don't believe in fiscal responsibility. And speaking of man-made holidays, I don't celebrate them. People knock me all the time. I don't care anymore. I never cared. I don't care. But I'm not doing it. I'm not spending money just because you told me to in the business of the U.S. The United States is a business. And so when I worked at the grocery store, one thing I learned is during the business times, we made budgets based off what we knew people was going to do based off of the holidays. So at Christmas time, we set a higher budget for more hours, more people. All the holidays, every month we were setting stuff. And that's exactly what they do in the United States. They bank on us being a part of their system that they programmed us to do. And then when you don't do it for Christmas, they call you a Scrooge. Oh, let them kids have fun on Halloween. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care about none of that. And I'm glad I got grown kids. I'm not doing it. We ain't doing no trick-or-treating, going out begging people for candy. I can buy you some candy if you want all your teeth to get rotten and fall out. Fine. Okay? But when we talk about the education, we can self-educate. We have to learn how to remove ourselves from the system and educate ourselves on what we need to be doing for us. And like I talked about before, working together. And no, I'm not saying everybody do everything together, but at least have one common thing that we come together for. That's it. We can do all the stuff the way we want to, operate our businesses, our organizations the way we want. However, like I said, when there's at least an injustice in our community, there should be no question that we stand together. No question at all. Okay? Shouldn't be no question. We have to stand together. And so right now, I'm going to be honest. I'm at this point in my life. I'll be 50 next year, coming up in March. So it ain't even a year. It's a few more months. I'm going to be 50. 50. Got my gray hairs is coming in. I'm about to get me a newspaper subscription. About to start standing on my porch and yelling at kids for crossing my grass. I might even just pee on the front of my pants, just like the old people do, so I can have a pee spot on the front of my pants. Okay? I'm turning 50. And I can't keep on being in this fight like I am. So the investment into the younger generation is what I'm focusing on 100%. And that's why you see us doing the Untamed 20 weeks. We say summer fun, but it's really helping to program the youth into understanding their real power. I've 100% talked to the children about that. She said 58-0, cut it out. Man, I'm on a 21-day full body cleanse. I don't know if y'all ever heard of D-herbs, but that's what I'm doing right now. So I can't eat nothing but fruits and vegetables. And the first week was all boo-boo. Okay. All boo-boo. So yeah. I'm working on getting that body back. I'm about to be swole out here on y'all. But honestly, seriously, for real, like, we have to focus on the youth. And if we don't build the unity now, what are we telling them? What are we sending to them as far as unity? She said, you a vegetarian anyway. Now, I kind of backslid a little bit. I've been eating some chicken and turkey and stuff. And then, but the moment I start seeing like veins and stuff, then I'll be ready to throw up. So now I'm back, on my vegetables and fruit. And I'm not going back, I guess. I don't know. I like chicken a little bit, I guess. But yeah, it's 21 days. I'm not off this thing until November 16th. So today my dinner was Brussels sprouts and a gallon of water a day, smoothie earlier this morning, and that's it. Start my workouts tomorrow with Kasim, 4 a.m. at Assembly of the Saints. So yeah, I had to wait a week because the first week been all boo-boo. I can't be going to work out and then got a boo-boo and boo-boo on myself in front of people. That's why y'all ain't been seeing me nowhere. Them boo-boos come unexpectedly. And once the bubble starts happening, the boo-boo is coming. Ain't no stopping it. So yeah, full body cleanse. But anyway, enough about the boo-boo. We definitely have to focus on the unity. And I want to leave y'all with this scenario, okay? Let me pull up something I found on the internet that I thought was very interesting. Where it's at? Downloads. Oh, here it is. I downloaded it. Let me open it up. Okay, here it is. Move over here to this second screen so I can share this to the people. All right. Here it is. Y'all ready to see it? Let me stop this share. Stop that screen. Pull up this screen. Here it is. Boom. All right. Y'all see this? This is Omaha law enforcement meeting up with Cash Patel, FBI. Okay. And what you see here, remember this? Oh, me and Hanson is beefing. I can't stand this guy. The letter. He's doing things wrong in our community. We're beefing. But out of all the seats that was in this room, y'all sat right next to each other, leg to leg. They might have been, I think the chief might have been rubbing on his thigh right before that picture happened. Okay? Leg to leg. So what they do? Did they even have differences? Was it like WWE where they come out on the stage and they beef with each other and then behind the scenes they still plotting? Okay? We got everybody plotting against us and here we are beefing with each other. Can't agree on nothing. But they put their differences aside to be together. Smiling. Sheriff Hanson looking stupid as always. All right. And we can't even put our stuff together aside to come together. And I'm saying when y'all talk about coming together, at least on the point of injustice, like when that woman got called a black bitch, that day the video started circulating, we should have been there. But guess what, y'all? That event actually happened October 5th. So they just been marinating for over a month, for about a month, actually. Like all these niggas ain't gonna do shit. All right. They've been marinating for a month. This wasn't yesterday. When y'all seen that video, it was already almost a month old. All right. And here you see these people who supposedly was beefing sitting here with Cash Patel, this weirdo dude who don't know what the fuck he's doing right now. But they do know what they're doing because they're working together against us. That's the example. Oh, brother. Look what he just said. That's the an example of the government, period. This brother always got something intelligent to say. I love my Facebook friends. I love my Facebook brothers. I've built a conscious surrounding of people that always got something intelligent to say. And he said that is an example of the government, period. Where did this happen? Let me guess. Mia K. I haven't seen the video. No, it wasn't Mia K. It was at the gas station on 30th. And I do have the video because I had her send it to me. I spoke to the lady in the video because she, I had to get with her. And this goes back to what we talk about with the unity, right? Because she is related to people who's related to my sister. Everybody in North Omaha got somebody they related to that's related to somebody that's related to somebody. And that lady, she not only was related to somebody who's related to my sister, she knew my mother very well. She said, Sandra Wells, your mother, I went to middle school with Sandra Wells. This woman, okay? She said, I went to middle school with your mama. So for you to be calling me saying you want to help, it's like a full 360 circle life for her because she grew up with my mom. Okay. So it's not like I said, she said everybody related to you, but it's not rocket science around here. If you've been in North Omaha for as many years as I have, my oldest elder is from 1883. Pretty much everybody is related to me in this town. Okay? Here's the video, twin.
Take my nasty black ass out, yes or no? Take my nasty black ass out. Is that what we're saying?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Get out.
I will be telling your boss. I will be showing your boss. I will be showing your boss. Take my nasty black ass out. I will be sure. He said, take your nasty black ass out. I will tell you. Okay, say it again. Say it one more again.
Get out from the property. Crazy, get out from the property. I call 911 only, wait.
I called 911, you bitch.
Call him, bitch.
Yeah, I call you, bitch.
You the bitch.
You bitch.
What was that?
You bitch.
What was that?
You are black bitch.
What was that? What was that?
Yeah, you.
And y'all want to do business here?
Look
Y'all
at
want to
brother.
spend y'all money here? Y'all want to spend y'all money here? Is that what y'all want to do? Is that what y'all want to do? He called me a black. Take your nasty black ass. Call me a black bitch. That's what he call me a black bitch. Take your ass back to Africa. I'm recording. I'm recording. I'm recording. I'm recording. Don't spend your a nasty black bitch. He called me a nasty black bitch. That's what he did. That's what he did. A nasty black bitch. And you call me a nasty black bitch. Oh, you're recording, honey. You are recording. Keep talking. Keep talking. You are recording. Okay, do that. Do that. Yes, they're very. You come to our country and you call us nasty black bitches. That's what you do. That's what you do. He called us black bitches. That's what he do. But his boss, absolutely, his boss. I'm going to get the boss. Now your mammy's a funky ass. Your mama's a funky ass black bitch. You bastard. Suck your mammy's dick, bitch. Cause she didn't teach you no goddamn. You bastard, bitch hole. Don't do business here. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, the bitch, bitch. You the bitch.
So what you saw there was when he said bitch again, and the dude in the orange shirt, you don't see him, but you hear him saying, don't call her bitch no more. But the other dude, he just made his purchase. The black woman, she put her stuff back. Okay? So that statement I read to y'all was from the owner who said he want to make this right. But how can you correct that type of behavior? They say they fired him. His boss was begging for forgiveness. Yeah. Because I was in the room with First Guy when I called his boss. We don't take no time off. I was in the middle of an interview with Paul, my brother. I love my brother. And in the middle of that interview, I took the call from that dude, and he was begging for us not to get him. Okay? Because he must have did his own research online. But again, the moment that video surfaced, if this had been Detroit, one of them heavy populated black cities, we would have been there instantly. And not on no signs and rally and no, pull up like a flash mob, shut it down. Y'all stop coming the whole day. You ain't making no money. We not gonna get that type of respect until we can do stuff like that. And that's why sometimes, even me, I get to a point where I feel like, am I in the right place for the type of things that I know we have the power to do, but I can't make nobody. Goes back to what I was talking about with your children. You can't make people do stuff, even if you know it's the righteous and right thing to do. The location was 30th and Ames, big gyms plus. Okay. And like he said, in Detroit, that would have been the answer, to fuck around and find out. First Guy is down with any and all solidarity, all power to the people. And he went after a vulnerable elderly lady. Let them try that with the right one. That store would have been shut down. Crackheads and drunks are the ones that keep going, keep that business, because that they don't give a shit, for real. And they live right behind there. You're right. There's another video of a security guard working there, and he pulled a gun on the elderly man that he said was being irate. And the man, to me, in the video, he was just asking for change and stuff, and he was pulled to the ground, he pushed to the ground, and had a gun pointed at his head. The reason why I'm not showing the video is because the elderly man in the video who it happened to, he said, I don't want to push the issue, I don't want to press charges, I don't want to do nothing. So I left that issue alone. But again, this is the security that they hire. Yes, it was another black man who did it to another black man. And the store owners is responsible. The security people is responsible. And again, we continue to patronize the stores. No black unity. So what I'm saying is we have to agree that when something happens in our community, that we can at least come together for that part. And everybody can do what they do. I'm not trying to say that we got to come together and be this, oh, I love you and all this kumbaya stuff. But at least come together and love each other enough that we can stand on black unity. And brother, I thank you, man. He said you're in the right place. Keep doing what you're doing, and you got people on the side of you. 100%, brother. I appreciate that. I do get discouraged sometimes, but I'm not going nowhere. I really love my people, and this is really my people. I love y'all. This is where I was born, raised, and like I said, the oldest person I have that's buried here, I visit the grave sites, and the oldest person that I have buried here is from 1883. Okay? So no, this is not just some paycheck for me because I don't get paid. This ain't some clout thing for me because that's not what it's about. I don't get all the no clout or nothing. There's nothing that I get from this. It's just I want my people to be respected. I want us to do better, and I want us to have what we supposed to have. And that's the whole reason why I did this show today on Black Unity. And even I have my faults. Okay, I'm not a perfect person, and I don't know everything. And I would like to see, I might be a dreamer, call me naive, call me whatever. But I would like to see some point in this lifetime before I leave Earth that Omaha, small Omaha, Nebraska, the black people was able to come together and unite our power to make these motherfuckers stop playing with us. That's what I want to see. I do want to see that. I don't care. Chantel, you know I love you too. Our family's been around each other. I that's just what I want to see. And you know, call me whatever. I do want to see it. Yeah, we talk about it. Like I said, I'm not perfect, but I want to see us come together. I really, 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 really do. I know we can. We have the power. We have the people. We have everything that we need. And the things that I pointed out today on this show, if we could work on those things just within ourselves, especially self-love and dealing with trauma and mental illness, physical fitness, you know, all that stuff, then when we go out in the community, we can love each other. And like I said, you don't have to be a frontline person. You could just live a righteous life as a mother, a father, a sister, a brother. And when somebody look at your life, they can be like, man, that Chantella, that's one hell of a mama right there. That's one hell of a sister. Connie is one beautiful sister. That's one great auntie, Miss Cynthia. Okay? Michelle, that's one great sister right there. She really stood up for me. And you don't have to do frontline work. It's just your life can be an example for what other people can do. And like she said, if we unify, we would be unstoppable. We have it all. So there are some things that we got planned, and I'll keep y'all updated. But I do want to point this out because Miss Weston, Chantella, both of these people have shows. These women got shows. I got my show, William King, First Sky, Hood Table, everybody. I want to come together and have a press conference, but we're not doing media. We're doing our media, no local media. Those people, they barely want to do the stories the way we want them done anyway. So when we come together for this press conference, I want it to be us setting up our cameras, broadcasting it ourselves. Because this hateful dictator, Nazi, Sheriff Aaron Hansen, he has to go. And we can't wait until it's close to time to vote, start talking about voting and who we got. We got to get him out of there. And we need, I don't know if y'all had a chance to look at my page about the FBI agent who was undercover and he figured out or found out that the KKK infiltrated all types of law enforcement. They did. And they not only infiltrated it, they were using their power to get black people. And now is the time. And he putting all the evidence up there. Trash, trash, and more trash. Because me and Derek did a story with a local station who said they were going to cover it, interviewed the person, Channel 7, and then shelved the story because the company said they didn't do it. And they were in there mistreating this man in this rehab center. And ever since we've been in there, me and Derek, they've been treating him a lot better. So I didn't drop the story because now they actually treating him better because they knew we was on their ass. But again, KTV failed to run the story after we gathered all that stuff. And then what they do, he said, there was some wild shit just for them to ignore it. That's true. But I do want to leave y'all with this scenario. And I don't know if most of y'all even know this has happened. But if we don't plan on having our unity now, what is it going to take? Okay. What is it going to take? And there's some stuff happening. I'm not talking about just Omaha. I'm talking about globally. He said I should still run it because the pictures are heartbreaking. Yes, they are. They really are. And we do need to vote Aaron Hansen out of here, him, Klein, Pillen, and Ricketts. That's true. Because they're all a part of the same system that's keeping us down. To me, I believe that they're all part of the KKK and they're working together to keep us in this situation. Like they purposely do a lot of things to make it hard for Nebraska. And I believe, actually, to be honest, that North Omaha actually has a class action lawsuit against the city and the state for purposely suppressing us by keeping our business district dedicated to us, but never rebuilding it since 1969, letting it become a nonprofit district where people can get money off of the poverty and the data of us. And they've been doing it through housing, through the lack of economic growth, passing these bills, getting money, and then we never forget the money. We never get the money. All that. They've been purposely, it's on purpose. There's no way that every single district, Benson, Blackstone, Old Market, everybody got a business district where they walk up and down the street except for North Omaha. That's all on purpose because our district has to stay full of crime where they can collect data and then get federal dollars and pay each other because the poverty pimp game is real. And unless you travel, then you'll never see or understand what I'm talking about, because in bigger cities where they have actual NFL teams, NBA teams, legal marijuana, legal gambling, all this stuff where they're making money, they're really paying nonprofits millions of dollars to help keep the streets clean so that way they can have tourism and outside people come. They really want this stuff to be cleaned up. So they really support nonprofits. Here, the nonprofit money is one thing, but the real profit is the prisons. Your children on them ADHD medicine, locking us up for stupid weed charges, all the stuff that they do. And like they said, that number one, Omaha is number one, Nebraska is number one for locking up black men. They invest in the prisons and stuff around here. They don't actually want this stuff to stop. That's why the nonprofits, if you actually were stopping it, it wouldn't be able to have so many. The nonprofits have learned how to make money, and it's a business. It's a long-term job here. Because if you were actually changing it, why do you keep needing to be a nonprofit in this area? And look it up. How many nonprofits is in North Omaha? Somebody Google it and shoot me the numbers, because I know it's thousands. I've looked it up before. Okay? So it's all on purpose because they make money off of our poverty. They make money off of our pain. They make money off of our ignorance. They make money off of the lack of unity that we have. And if you don't believe me, just understand this. We was at that Bryan Center for 2 years, 2122, the court's right on 24th Street. Go drive by there and look at it now. How terrible it is. How it's not a beacon of hope. How it's not a safe place for people to gather. There's weeds growing everywhere. It's totally unsafe, and it looks ran down. Not to beat a dead horse, but I'm telling you, while we were there, they pulled the data and crime was going down in the area because we was there operating until 12 and 1 o'clock at night. Our own people. Okay? And so this is going to be my last try, y'all. I'm telling you right now. This is going to be my last. I'm telling you. Call me whatever. I'm the person causing the divide, whatever people say. This is going to be my last and final try. If you're going to get on board with the unity, this is my last try. Either we come together or you keep your ass on the other side of the line. Because once the fence has been built and the line has been drawn, I'm not going back again. This is my last try to bring anybody to the table, or whatever you want to call it, a table, work together, have a common goal, whatever. And it got to be real. It can't be no fake stuff. We can't be working together and then saying, oh, it's a strategy that I'm working with Sherman just so I can say, because he got the streets and I got the resources and we can just, no. It got to be for real. If it ain't for real, then I'm not doing it. Okay? She said, who stopped you from the Bryan Center? Our own people. You better speak on it. So I do want to leave y'all with some stuff, okay? For one, if y'all gonna be out tomorrow, please come out and support my sister, Miss Danner, who is running to replace Don Klein. Okay. 5:30 to 7:30 at Lola's Cafe, 4952 Dodge Street. All right. If you can, please come out, show Miss Danner some support. I know people was talking crazy about it, but I'm gonna tell you what, in 2022, I had Miss Danner come down while she was the when she was the city prosecutor. She wasn't running for no office, and she supported the Untamed 20 Weeks. Not only did she show up, she came with her children, and she was there with us. She talked to us. She did it again this year, and then we begged her to run, and she actually ran. Oh, she said approximately 600 nonprofits just in North Omaha. Come on now. Okay. So make sure that y'all support Miss Danner. That's one. And then let me get you the bigger picture thing that I was talking about. Okay. Let me pull it up. Let me stop Miss Danner real quick and pull this one up. All right. Full screen. I want to show y'all this because to me it's important. She announced her candidacy, I would say probably about a month ago, Chantella. Yeah, Michaela. I went to school with Michaela, and she done prosecuted me about 3 times. I'm gonna be honest. And when I got in the courtroom and seen it was her, I was praying she went easy on me, but it wasn't a fact of her going easy on me. I put myself in that situation to be in front of her, but there was times where I could have got a lot of time, and she didn't slam the gavel on me. You know, she didn't prosecute me to the fullest like she could have. Yeah, I went to jail a grip of times before I got it right. And right now, y'all meet me in this stage of my life, but I wasn't always like this. It was different stages. And during that stage, yeah, Miss Danner had the opportunity to prosecute me. But I want to show y'all this video. I'm not going to explain it. I'm going to just play it. And then we'll briefly talk about it. Then I'm going to get out of here.
I want to cue up a video that I've been given. And as before it starts, I'm going to describe. This was taken October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. That you cannot see that drone, and so I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does. This is when it zoomed out, so you can still see it traveling. So, Mr. Knapp, have you heard about events like this occurring, and what information might you have?
I have heard about events like this. I have heard about this event. Jeremy Corbell and I talked about it in one of our episodes a while back. We did not have the video, though. There are servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally, some of that stuff gets out in the wild, and it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah, what the hell is that? What?
So,
Okay. All right. This is exactly what I'm talking about, where I'm at. Okay. An unidentified flying object was hit with a Hellfire missile, one of the strongest missiles that they have on a drone, and it bounced off of it. Not only did it bounce off of it, The pieces that broke off of it continued to travel with it, caught back up with it, and took off. And this happened last year. Why? First of all, why is the United States shooting at something they don't know what it is? But why are we not why are we not able to see this kind of stuff? So while we thinking about all this stuff and black unity and all this stuff, what happens if something like that was to attack the United States and our little communities? We need to come together, and all the stuff that we think is a big deal. Here we are out here trying to fight these aliens or whatever that is, or whatever it was. Okay. So that's way out. All right. We bring it back down. You start off with the alien space stuff. Then you go back to Trump and the racism. Then you go back into what we talked about in our communities right now. There's so many other things to be worried about. We as black people, as people, period, need to start having some kind of unity, or we're going to be lost in the sauce. She said the same reason why President Trump, fat crusty ass, is shooting down so-called drug ships. He said Wakanda is invading. Okay. So I want to just leave y'all with that because, yeah, this is probably one of the longest shows I've had, an hour and a half. I do love y'all. I do want to see us come together. And like my brother JD said, I know it's a lot of people standing with us, but we have to start taking action. Untamed is a unified nation, taking action mentally, erasing deception. Taking action, mentally erasing deception. Okay? If there's no action, then what are we doing? And like Miss Weston said, they got drones right now that they're using to watch North Omaha. She right. We love you too, Jobina, and that macaroni and cheese you be making. As soon as I'm off this stupid 21-day cleanse, I'm gonna be getting some of that macaroni. Love you too, Connie. But we have to start taking action. All that talking, meeting, I'm not doing that stuff no more. We have to take an action. Anytime something happens, there has to be action. And then we also have to have things that we already have planned, so that way we're not reacting to everything. Okay? He said, what would be my reason to fight aliens if they ain't done nothing to me? You damn right. That's why I said, why is the United States even just shooting at it like that? Why would you just shoot at that thing? It wasn't doing nothing, just flying through the sky. And you shoot a missile at it that didn't do nothing, bounced off like rubber. Okay? And then again, it could be them fucking with us, making us think it's some alien invasion so they can kill most of us and say that's what it was. All right? I don't believe nothing with these people, because we are right now, and always have been, in the middle of the oldest war in the book. She said proactive is our best defense. That's right. It's evil versus good. I don't say good versus evil no more. I say evil versus good. You know why? The evil is shown much more than the good is. And then it start discouraging the good. But the good is there. We're here. Okay? We're here. Our spiritual families is here. The warriors is here. The young people that's here is the warriors. All right? Yeah. Yeah. Councilwoman agency to serve refugees coming in from other states. Right. Employment first, Lutheran all. Right. We are here. Our children is the warriors, the ones that y'all think is so bad and so terrible. They actually just need some guidance. And Brother Kasim is working on that. He said they shooting because they know exactly what they here for. For them. Not us, because we ain't did nothing. They the ones got Space Force. But I do really believe that we have everything we need. The evil versus good battle is here. You got to stay on the side of good. Keep your heart pure. Do the right thing. Stay righteous. love each other, respect our elders. I don't care what nobody say about, oh, they not passing torch, whoop de woo woo woo. Guess what? I love my elders. I will go to bat for my elders because I learned so much from them. Okay. And I clean graves because I believe in my ancestors giving me power. So I know that's not them in that grave. They body is the shell, whatever. But I still go out and I clean their graves. And I sit out there sometimes when I'm cleaning the graves, you know. I don't really do as many funerals because I believe that a spiritual being is still energy everywhere. So those dreams you have about people and you think it's just a dream, it's not. They actually, spirit is coming to talk to you. They're here. They're going to give us the information. Okay? Stay spiritually connected so you can stay spiritually connected to your ancestors. Don't get so caught up in the human world and what they telling you that you lose your spiritual connection. And I'm not knocking nobody when I say this next statement, but to me, that's all depression is. Depression is when you are trying to battle what you're here for and you want to be what the humans told you to be. And that spirit is battling against your human side. And you have to let the spirit come in so you can understand what you're here for. Stop thinking what these people told you are, because you're not. Okay? I love y'all. I really do. And my sister Iris, she said everything is spiritual. That's another one of them warriors right there. She know it. Everything is spiritual. We are spiritual people. And until we accept that we are spiritual people, we're going to continue to get punished because we're not living in our spirituality. We are spiritual people, and we're going to continue to be punished because we're not living in our spirituality. We're living based off what the humans told us we were supposed to do. Oh, you black, you supposed to talk like this, act like this, do this, do that, do this. No. I love you too, Juanita Ross, one of my high school friends. I love you. And if we don't live in our spiritual selves and be the spiritual beings that we're supposed to be, we're just hurting ourselves. And she said that the elder's not passing the baton is a division tactic. That's correct. But the elders I know, they actually give me a lot of knowledge. But I'm ready to receive the knowledge. Sometimes people ain't ready to receive the baton or the knowledge. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'm gonna leave this up. You know, Facebook erases lives after 30 days, but my lives is on YouTube. I did have the live right now today is up on Instagram, but again, they erase them right after you off. I didn't really see too many people on Instagram. Let me see, is y'all there? Yeah, it's a few people there. What's up, Skilo? Man. Long live J.I. Janidi Ibrahim. That's my brother. Definitely love him. And we're going to keep it moving. And love is supreme. 100%. And without love, we don't have nothing. That's the only thing that can rule is love. Okay? Piece of hair grease. Y'all stay up. Keep loving your heart. Deal with your demons. Love your neighbors. Love your family. Love yourself so you can love each other. And we'll be okay. And like I said, it might be naive of me to think it, but I do think, like Bree said at the beginning of the show, that Black unity is possible.